Greetings, people of YouTube. I am Pete R. Porker. On this video, we will have a look at did CM Punk turn heel without really turning heel on his first night back on Raw. I know what you're thinking. Pete R. Porker, are you out of your mind? How's that even possible? Well, I'll tell you how and why on this video. Remember back on January 2nd, 2012, when Chris Jericho returned after months of cryptic videos with two creepy children. The creepy little boy spoke of a return of apocalyptic proportions that would be the end of the world as we know it. At the time, many speculated anyone from Undertaker to Sting. Remember, it begins being rearranged as an anagram for IB Sting? Good times. While the apocalyptic videos had more of an Undertaker theming to them, the world was reintroduced to Chris Jericho, who came to the ring, smiled, said nothing, and disappeared after high-fiving the fans. The following week on Raw, Jericho came out, said nothing again, but this time he broke down in tears before exiting. On the third Raw of the year, Jericho tagged into a match where he celebrated with plenty of yeah babies before tagging out without having locked up or thrown a single punch. By this time, it was evident that Jericho had Jeritro'd, if you will, us all. He was a heel by taking away from the fans what they really wanted to see from him, Jericho wrestling, and hear from him, Jericho's catchphrases, jokes, and charismatic promos. Of course, this all culminated into a feud with CM Punk in 2012 as Jericho took umbrage to Punk calling himself the best in the world, as that is something Jericho always labeled himself as. Now, fast forward to the year 2023, and CM Punk came back to the WWE after nearly 10 years away. The crowd was all hyped after his Survivor Series return and couldn't wait to hear what he had to say on the following Raw. A lot of people were expecting fire, controversy, and pipe bombs galore like Punk gave us in the summer of Punk in 2011, and most recently in AEW. My tongue keeps making an annoying clicking sound. Sorry. However, there was no really controversial statements in that Raw promo. Punk said he was a changed man and how most of the locker room was glad to see him back. He likened it to a family reunion backstage, and he showered the fans with praise as he told them he loves them. Aww. He mentioned he was home here in the WWE, and he even mentioned how some people in the locker room kissed him on the lips. I wonder what AJ Lee has to say about that. Ha 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 ha. Kissed him on the lips in a family reunion? I hate when my creepy uncle gets drunk and does that at the reunions. Moving on. Now, while these could all be true, genuine feelings, this could also be the makings of Punk being a heel by being anti-Punk. He's back in physical form and on our TVs, yes, but instead of giving the fans the controversial and polarizing lightning rod they either love or hate, this CM Punk could very well be Corporate Man Punk. By depriving the fans of the controversial promos and depriving them of him ruffling feathers with others by being the iconoclast we know him to be, perhaps CM Punk could be taking a page out of Stone Cold Steve Austin's book in 2001. During that weird time, Stone Cold Steve Austin aligned himself with longtime nemesis Vince McMahon and became corporate. He became buddies with the boss man, who made his life a living nightmare. Not the big boss man either, I mean Vince McMahon, the boss. Anyhow, toward the end of 2001, Stone Cold would return to his rebel ways and became the anti-authority figure, going up against Vince McMahon again, and the crowd went wild. Could CM Punk be traveling down a similar route by playing by the rules and saying he is home to a company that fired him on his wedding day to AJ Lee, and a company he often lambasted much of the long time he was gone from it? While people do change, other wrestlers like Seth Rollins will likely be calling him a hypocrite for his statements on Raw. While CM Punk's feud with Seth Rollins could very likely see Rollins becoming a jealous heel, completely blinded by hate for Punk, and completely having his feelings hurt that the fans accepted Punk and now underappreciate Rollins. Aww. Remember, it was Punk's final statement on Raw that sounded most heel-like when he said, "I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money." Boy, if I had a dime for every time a date told me that, I could retire quite early. While that statement of not here to make friends but here to make money in and of itself is not necessarily a hellish statement, as that is a feeling shared by many wrestlers and frankly workers in general, it can easily be twisted into a hellish motive. Punk could be there just to collect a check and keep his bosses happy instead of giving the fans the Punk they truly long to see, the man who played by nobody's rules but his own. Could this keep on going until Punk has had enough, snaps, and becomes the rebel we all know him to be, no matter what the suits think? The anticipation of him having enough and finally going back to this pipe bomb spouting rebel could be the perfect face turn if indeed Punk is now corporate man Punk. Of course, this is all just merely speculation, and it's difficult to tell from one 8-minute promo where Punk's storyline is going. I do feel safe, however, in assuming we will get Punk versus Rollins for Rollins' title at perhaps WrestleMania 40, and it will be quite the work rate banger. Could Punk cement a heel turn by using cheating tactics to score the title, perhaps with AJ Lee involved? Could this set up a mixed tag match feud between Punk and AJ versus Rollins and Lynch? Oh, be still my heart. It will be interesting to see what Punk says or does on further Raws and on SmackDown. I could be really missing the mark on this video. Personally, I'd keep Punk a white-hot babyface for a while and turn Seth Rollins into an increasingly jealous heel, which is more than likely the route they will take. I only wish to offer this alternate take on Punk being a heel for this video. And as Uncle Smeltzer often says, plans could always, change. What do you think? Sound off in the comments below. This is Pete R. Porker saying Excelsior.